So from the previous video where I did the dip pen with this diamine ink, it said it's waterproof, but I just got a slight bit of water on there and it smudged it, so I've got a slight suspicion that it won't be waterproof. So I'm going to try and avoid as much as the ink lines when I paint this background as possible. I've got like a green aquatint watercolour ink here, and I'm just going to try and come up with a nice even coat of this background. Just try and avoid a bit of the ink lines, just to be on the safe side. Maybe add a bit more water to it. Don't mind if I go over slightly, because I can correct that with Copic markers. They'll be colouring the skull in anyway, so I don't know. Maybe it was just a piece that wasn't dry, I don't know. Yeah, it's working quite well. Just add some water in it. It's quite a bright green, which I quite like. Water it down some more. Got some tissue over there as well, just to wipe the brush. I think if I do some thick dark green colour there and then water it out to the edges. I do like these aquatint inks. They seem to look quite good, quite solid. Again, a bit too much water there. So, doing a nice green colour there. I'd like to try and mix some more colours over it, I don't know, but we'll just see how it goes. Right now I'm sort of limited with the aquatints. I need to buy a few more. Yeah, you can see some of that ink, it's getting displaced here and there, but that's why I'm avoiding most of the ink lines. Just focus on the background. So I'll wash that brush now. Maybe add some blue just to try and come up with a different colour. See what it looks like. Try and spread it out. Maybe some more over the top area. When in doubt, just water it out. Some of that green's sort of mixed in together, so I like doing experimental sort of experiments like this, because you can make some quite cool little accidents with the paint, or you can just mess the whole thing up. That's part of the fun, I suppose. Too much water there. Almost like blue flame or something. Yeah, I quite like that basic background for now. I can add more to it later on, but right now I think I'll add the Copic marker bit into this video and sort of do the colouring all together. And I can add bits of more, of those, watercolour inks, which are quite cool. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm just adding a warm grey one. I think it's a warm grey one. Yeah, it should be. I usually start with the the lightest tone, and then work backwards or forwards, or whatever you want to call it, with darker tones, and then I can go back through it again and add some more different markers over the top. But yeah, I'm just using like warm greys just to fill out the the main areas of this skull. I know that I'll be adding like a warm grey 3 and a warm grey 5 to it, and perhaps separating the eyes out from there. Maybe make them slightly yellow and almost like there's some kind of fire within it. I don't know. Yeah. At the end of this, I'm not entirely happy with the end result. I think it needs more adding to it, like a lot of my drawings. Maybe some more colour work over the top, and just fleshing things out. I didn't get to do more like the watercolour in the background. I wish I could do a bit more of that, but I didn't in this video. I'm just focused on the Copic work that for the skull. But still, I thought I'd include this as a second part to that other video where I tested out the that dip pen, which I'm still going to use. I still have used it on a couple of drawings. So yeah, that'll be a warm grey 3, which is slightly darker, and I just want to layer that over the top what I've already coloured, maybe add some other areas on it. Just think of your drawings as adding layers, and texture and things usually come later, but it's best to add the main undertones of the the shadow and the light areas. It's always a good idea to do that, and you can change the colour later on. The skull doesn't have to be grey. You can do it, I don't know, like a red skull or purple skull or something. Sort of like the grey tones is sort of like the undertone, and it's just one of them things. One of them techniques. It looks quite scribbly like sometimes, but that's just the way you layer it in anyway. If I was using a paintbrush, I'd just slap all the paint on and work on the shadow and light areas. Shadowing in the eyes there, but I do want to make them slightly like yellow, or like there's some kind of fire in there, or some a different colour, because there's like in the background there's the blue and the green, so I just want to separate that a bit more. I'm using a warm grey 5 now, which is even darker than, you know, the other two, obviously, as you can see. Adds a nice, you know, tone to it, and you can blend that later on as well by going over it with a, you know, lighter colour or a colourless blender, which I rarely use, to be honest. But yeah, the sort of sketchy way in which I add this colour is, it works quite well because you can just blend things and neaten up certain areas, which, you know, if you've over coloured it, you can go back over it and not totally erase areas, but you can blend, you know, harsh lines. See on that cheekbone there, I've done some harsh lines there. I could just blend them, you know, with a lighter grey, you know, and like soften them so that they don't look like harsh, you know, sharp sort of like colour lines. I think I went a bit overboard with the you know, the shadow here, but I think I attempted to thin it out a bit when I added like a dull ivory colour, which sort of makes the skull look a bit more almost skull-like, almost like bleached bone, some kind of colour like that. This is the dull ivory. I decided to colour in the eye sockets and attempt to just make them different from the rest. I left like a white space at the top, you know, just to show like an eyeball of some sort, or like some kind of light, I don't know. Did that on the teeth as well, just to add like a yellow, almost like stained looking teeth, ancient teeth. So yeah, I need a few more Copic markers, you know, in the range of just like in between shades that I need really. I recently bought like a sand colour, which looks exactly like sand, you know, which is you know, the clues in the name sort of thing. Yeah, I quite like them kind of colours. It's almost like a skin colour as well. Even this dull ivory colour that I'm using just to colour in the jaw there, that's almost like a skin colour as well, which I can use to blend with other colours, and it's quite effective. You see how that blends together with the greys that I've already done. It's good to layer over a few shades of colour together. Sometimes a lighter tone over a darker tone, it'll sort of almost like act as a colourless blender, where it'll take a bit of the darker colour out if you keep repeating it over, you know, the same area, and sort of like bring some of that darker area out, if I can explain that right. You can see that the colours are blending well together. Got like a canary yellow there, I just thought I'd make the eyes a bit more brighter, eye sockets. Again, trying to leave the little white space at the top. But I could go back in and just add a white pen or something, just to create like a white reflective bit or something, or I don't know. Going over some of them white areas there, which helps the colour blend a bit more with the green. And you can layer over them watercolours. It didn't seem to affect them when I did it, so it's just think of the colour variations that you could possibly do, and just have fun with it really. That's what I like about mixed media, and something that I like to do more of, and just test things out. You see, it's changing that green. If I go over, most of it, it's changing the tone of the green, and that, it can be good or bad sometimes. So it's just best to experiment, and that's what I like to do. Just doing little highlights here and there with the yellow. This is a yellow ochre, so I wanted to just add some little shadowy bits, more tone in the eyes really. Yeah, that's basically it really. You can just play around with things until you get things how you want it, and that's always the best way, when colouring. I never used to do this layered up sort of way of colouring, but it is the best way of doing it. So I think that's a warm grey one. Just going over some of the top areas of the skull, bits that I missed. Sometimes it's a good idea just to go over bits that you missed, and things like that. Even at the end of this, as I said before, it still needs more doing to it, like most of my drawings, but it's just a good little exercise to do. Mixed media. I wish I would have thought of other things to add to the mix, but no, this is exactly how I wanted to do this, and yeah, it turned out okay. Not perfect, but no drawing is. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now!